Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's Melinda from Alexis and Melinda's Art Space. Just coming on with a art journal page. Working in my altered wine book, and this blue page was a wipe-off paint page. So I just had some extra blue paint, so I just stuck it on the page. What you saw just before I put this book paper in view was some cutouts that I decided to add on the page, and then I decided to make some mermaids. The cutouts are printable off the internet. I just googled mixed media printouts and they come up, and I got to print them out, which are really cool. So the paper book I'm working with is actually from Aldi. I like the Aldi paper in my art journal because it's thinner and it layers really nicely. You can put 3 or 4 different layers on top of each other, and because it's a thinner paper you don't get the bulk, which is really cool, as opposed to working with scrapbook and cardstock, which is quite thick. So these bright Aldi papers were the ones, not this year's, but the ones probably about 18 months ago, in 2000 and, oh, you're testing my brain now, 15, when they had 4 ranges out, and their paper pads were super cheap too. So I got some inspiration from a Aussie living in America called James Burke. He does a lot of brushstroke mermaids, and he did some, I believe he did some washi tape mermaids like this. Or am I just going off his brushstroke mermaids? Oh, we'll link James's channel below. He's a great illustrative artist and mixed media artist, and really got some inspiration from him lately. So I started with these heads with these hats to come off the collage pages because I'm not real good at doing faces. So I thought I'd just use those instead. So I'm just trying to proportionately do a large mermaid and a small mermaid. So doing it in James's style, he does like a triangle up the right way, and then he does a longer triangle for the body, and then he does his sweeping tail. He often does the brushstroke mermaids, which is when I first sort of got inspiration to do that. So I'm just trying to work out the tail. I'm drawing on the back, the white side of the paper, so when I cut it out I can then flip it over and it will be coloured. So I just had to work out which way I wanted my mermaid tail to go on the page to what way I was drawing it, because I was drawing it backwards. So I cut those out. As you can tell, it's not a detailed mermaid, it's a very stylized mermaid, which worked really well. I'm very happy with how this turned out. And I'll probably do something similar again, which will look really cool, or similar. I'd love to try his brushstroke mermaids, where basically his body is just built up of brushstrokes that are going across the page. So bring in some washi tape. I'm not sure whether he did the washi tape mermaid or not. I did this page quite a while ago, so I'm trying to remember. I definitely know it was James Burke I got inspired by, but as I said, I'll link his channel below, and if I can find the video I was inspired by, I'll link the actual video, if not his channel. So these washi tapes come from Spotlight, our Australian craft supply store. If you're an American or Canadian viewer, your Michaels would be equivalent, but Michaels is like a 10 out of 10, and our Spotlight would be like a 1. Yeah, it's not very good. So I got these washi tapes on clearance. They're a bit gory in colour, but they suited this. I only bought these ones for my daughter and went and pinched them for what I wanted to do. So placing the rows of washi tape onto the body just to give it some colour, and onto the tail and also the body piece. I was just wrapping them around the back of the piece of paper, so I didn't want them to have like an edge, and I thought if I wrapped them around the back, once I stuck this to my page, it would work a bit better in the scrapbook page, art journal page. So just layering up the washies, didn't want the same pattern together, overlapped some of them, left some of them the full width. So I think these come out of, I'm just looking at my book, they come in sets, so there was like a pink set, then there was a purple set, and then I think I used a pink and a purple set looking at it. Oh, there might be a blue. No, don't think there's a blue one. Then I decided to cover the tail. So this gets quite fiddly, but I love the result. So if you've got some rolls of washi tape, you could actually get the same look with strips of pattern paper if you don't have washi tape. Just, you know, all those branding strips you cut off your 12 by 12 when you're scrapbooking and go, I'm going to use it one day? Well, one day's today. Get them out and use them. I certainly have a box of those. And a lot of other little strips that I've cut off scrapbooking paper. You always have scraps when you scrapbook. I think that's why it got its name of scrapbooking, because you always have scraps left over. So just finishing up with those. So this is the larger mermaid that I'm working on, and then I do have a smaller one as well. So it does get quite time consuming. I couldn't get the top of the body and the bottom of the body to stick on with the washi tape, so I'm having a bit of difficulty there. So just lining it up and checking all the time whether it looks what I want. Now I go to freestyle some arms. Not real happy with the arms, but they're arms. When James Burke does his brush stroke mermaids, his arms are just beautiful. They're flowing and they look correct, and mine look like pieces of seaweed stuck on. They they look a bit better on the final page, but yeah, but they're stylized mermaids, so hey, it was fun to make the page, so I did that. So working on this second little mermaid now, trying to put some coloured washi tape on him. Washi tape's getting a bit old, so it's a bit hard to peel off the roll, so you'll see me picking at the roll, trying to find the end as well, which is always fun. So again, bringing in a piece of paper to draw the little tail. So as you can tell, I'm not really thinking about it much. I just sort of freehand it and go, yeah, that's sort of the shape I want. So not much thought went into it, but it turned out really cute, the tails. So just fussy cutting those out. And we'll cover that with washi tape as well. Looks like a whale, that piece of paper. I want to head up the other way. It looks like looks like a whale, but that's alright. We'll add it to the mermaid that it will look like a mermaid's tail. So just layering up some more of that washi tape. I should speed this up a bit faster because it's a bit of a laborious process, but it's a good process and quite simple and quick. Well, fairly quick. Sort of wanting to, and what I did with, unfortunately, with this one is I stuck the washi tape more square on, so they were longer pieces, but she's sort of, yeah, she's a bit different to the other one, which was good. So when I was doing the tail, it was easier to stick straight over the tail and then cut around the washi tape, as opposed to trying to fit smaller pieces into the tail bits of the washi tape. So I folded over what I could, and then I made some cuts and slits in it, and then just took off the pieces that I didn't need. You can see there that the washi tape's folded over to the back. This would be a great exercise with kids, because the bodies don't need to be realistic. You can give them heads to start with. Give them heads. Give them some cutouts of heads to start with, and then they're not pressured to be drawing the head as well. I think art journaling is all about fun, and if you can cheat and use pieces of someone else's artwork to then turn it into your own artwork, it would be great. If you are interested in the collage sheets, I can possibly Google and find the link for you, but all I did was Googled mixed media collage sheets, and I decided that I wanted to just find some to have a play with. So just cutting some arms for the second mermaid now. I think if I did this again, I'd do different arms. I may draw them out instead of trying to freehand cut them. So picking up all my mermaidy pieces to bring my book back in. So the other two critters there you see with the faces and the shell bottoms, the shell bodies are actually from that collage sheet as well. So the numbers and the scallops. I'm wanting actually to design some of my own collage sheets like that, using magazines and pattern papers to cut up and use in my work. James Burke is really into photographing and reusing your own artwork in your artwork in a different way. So I'm trying to do that as well. Not in this particular layout, but in other layouts that are upcoming. So reusing the same sort of imagery or shrinking it or making it bigger. And I thought it'd be fun to make some collage sheets as well. So gluing, do I glue it down? What do I glue it down with? This page was made a little while ago. Okay, it's already glued down. I must have missed that bit of the filming. Oops. So I would have glued it down with probably Liquitex matte medium, which is my new favourite love in like the bottle, and it's a really fluid matte medium, and it dries really matte, so you can take textures and things and draw on top of it. So just doing some waves with a Sharpie paint pen. It's the best paint pen I've found for having white. I have gel pens and things, and I just kill them because I'm real not patient and don't wait for things to dry and go over wet paint. But I find if you have a paint pen, you go over wet paint, it doesn't matter. But if you have a gel pen, you just bugger it. So just going around and adding a bit of definition to the edge of these mermaids with a black, I believe this would be a Pitt pen, one of my black, probably black brush Pitt pen with India ink in it. So just going around and making the shapes sort of stand out more from the background. That was sort of, I suppose, fading into the background a bit, so it just makes them a bit more standoutish. Oh my god, I'm full of words tonight. Then I decided to go in and draw over a few of the collage sheets and just define a few of the features on them of the fish. Thinking what else can I doodle on? Just doodling on a few more of the collage pieces, just darkening areas as well. And that's great. You can darken areas if you're not real good at fussy cutting. You'll see in the ears in the moment. I didn't get right in the middle, but the black that I put there almost disappears into the blue, and it looks like I fussy cut around them. Unless you get your nose to the page and then you can see the different colour, but who's really going to stick their nose up that close to my art journal page? Certainly not me. Maybe Miss Alexis, but certainly not me. So just deciding to go around and define a few more things. As you start defining a few things, and then you look at other things and go, oh, well, that could use a bit, and I find it's an area where I've got to stop myself and go, stop, you don't really need to cover the entire page with black Pitt pens, bringing the white back in again. So sometimes I do go around shapes with black, and then I do go around them with white as well, just because I can, just because it looks good, just because I changed my mind. But you usually can see both markers. So then I decide that the washi tape needs a bit of definition, so I go and make a black line between each layer of the washi tape. Told you I couldn't stop with my black marker. You'll be yelling at me, stop with that black marker. I've got to realise in art journaling that there is a limit to how much pen work you can do on a page before it looks like vomit. I haven't reached that conclusion yet. So what do I do next? I decided it needs something else. So on my desk I had a couple of punches. This is a 3/4 inch circle punch and a 1 inch circle punch. And I believe they're both EK Success ones. The black one's really old and I had it at my shop. That'd be 9 or 10 years old. And this one is a bit newer, the little clippy one. But again, it'd probably be 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old. So I decided to, this is my funnest thing to do with, oh my god. My favourite thing to do with circle punches is to punch a small circle and then go back in and punch a larger circle, making a ring. And the rings I find looks really cool bubbles, so I put rings everywhere. I was doing another page the other day and I had rings everywhere and bubbles everywhere. I find the rings sort of add an element but don't add a solid, well, they don't obviously add a solid element. Oh my god. But yeah, they look better. because I like them better. And I like that they're not perfect as well. Hey, I'm not perfect. That's probably what I used to stick the people on with as well. So just adding, this is Mod Podge matte medium Mod Podge, matte medium matte Mod Podge, could be the paper Mod Podge. Trying to use up a lot of older adhesives and matte gels and things that I've got. I usually tend to buy them on clearance and then open them and then move house. I've moved house a lot in the last few years, and things get packed in boxes and don't specifically get unpacked. So that's my goal this year, is to get everything out, everything organised, whether things get packed back into boxes because I've got no blooming room to store them and use them all. Then I know, hey, that's the whole box of punches I have, and I don't have any more in 60 million other boxes, because a few of my supplies I have lost because glues dry up, paints dry up. So we're trying to get everything out together and group it up. So you'll see a lot of different mediums I use. I'm not a brand snob when it comes to mediums. I'm basically a price snob. Now, if something will work and it's cheap, then, and it's on sale, then I'll grab it. I prefer matte finishes as opposed to gloss finishes. But in saying that, last time I found some on special, they were gloss, and they were like a quarter of the price of the matte product because the gloss were on sale for some particular reason. So I ended up with 4 bottles of gloss, which I will use. Not what I prefer, but as I said, I'm not a brand snob, I'm a price snob. If I don't have anything like this, PVA glue, watered down a little, works just as well. But again, it does put a bit of a shiny look on it. So no mediums are better than others. It's personal choice. My new favourite personal choice is actually Liquitex matte medium in the bottle. But I don't know whether I'll be able to get it cheap enough to buy it again. I picked up some for $10 at Spotlight quite a few years ago when they were clearing it out, and usually it's about $20, $25 a bottle. Now, I've never paid $20, $25 a bottle for it because it's just out of my price range. Especially when Munchkin, aka Alexis, uses it quite a lot and liberally, which I don't mind. She does a lot of art, but if I can get something for $10 as opposed to $25, it's good. So I decide after it's all dry to go in and give my critters some colour and also my arms some colour. So this particular set of watercolours is from Spotlight, again, our craft store, and I believe it's Semco range. I actually bought this for Alexis when I first got her first art journal when she was 5 or 6. She must have been 5. Just turned 5 because she's only started school. Hang on, no, she would have been 6, just turned 6. She was going into grade 1. I bought her first art journal and I got her this cheap paint set and a few other bits and pieces, and I sort of stood back again. Shh, don't tell her. No one tell her and she won't know. But this is it's a good basic. I think it was about $6 or $7 in real, like full price in Spotlight. So it's a good bright colours, and they're going on really nicely on top of the Mod Podge as well. So just adding a bit of colour and seeing what I want to paint. I do end up painting their arms pink because I'm actually looking at the art journal page as I'm doing this voiceover. I learned that the hard way. Have art journal page in front of you next to computer so I can look at it, because looking at the screen is really, really small for my eyesight and really, really terrible to see. So I'm umming and ahhing and thinking what else I'm going to paint. Do I go and paint the other arms? Got the channel remote sitting on top of it. Yes, I do. I'll go and paint those in a minute. One day I'd love to own a really nice expensive Daniel Smith or aka anyone like that, really nice watercolours, but at the moment I only fizz around and play around with them and I don't do a lot of actual watercolouring with them, just sort of transparency to cover up, not transparency painting to colour in things like this. So yes, until I become a real artist, I'll put it that way, I'm stuck with these ones. But just drying that off and that's done. Made it to the end. I'm sorry for my rambling tonight. I'm in one of those moods, as you all do. Thank you for watching, and bye for now. Just giving that a dry to dry it off, and it's done. Bye.